Okay, this is partial setup, almost, nearing done of my Odroid XU4. Not sorry, was Odroid XU4 before, but now it is the Seed Studio X86 Odyssey, or otherwise known as Recomputer. It is a Celeron J105, 8 gigs of RAM, and some other stuff. But anyways, so it's like a little X86 single board computer type thing, and it's running CoinOps. So it didn't run CoinOps right away. Like when I downloaded it, performance wasn't great. I definitely had to go in and do a lot of stuff, not only to CoinOps but also to Windows. So I had to get Windows kind of like deep loaded and just modify the crap out of it to get it running. And I also had to change the theme for CoinOps because the stock theme brings this computer to its knees. And I had to change out some of the emulators that were being used because they don't work on these types of boards or just lower end boards. So I got this running. One of the main reasons I went with this is for Model 2 and Model 3. I still need to work on the controls for those two systems. Model 3 kind of works, but it's missing certain controls, so I can play some games. Model 2 isn't working at all as far as the controls go, but it runs at 1080p just fine, so that's good. Model 3, I had to actually change the graphics so that they ran on the old rendering engine that they have. I downloaded a Thomas Wave pack. That one I had to change out the emulator because it wouldn't run right. The audio was terrible. So I switched. They were using Demule, and I switched Demule for that RetroArch core. It's a RetroArch core thing. But anyways, I changed it out for the RetroArch core as well as the Naomi. Did the same thing. Had to put in some BIOS files. PSP worked fine. I did actually have to change a PlayStation emulator. First, the stock PlayStation emulator that comes with CoinOps, I don't like it. But I downloaded a pack that changes that emulator, and the emulator included was not working right. With this computer, it was too much, so I downloaded. So I changed it to what is that core? PCSX rearmed, which I didn't think was going to work because this is not an ARM device, but I guess it works with Intel processors as well, and it works very well. And I never really had a problem with that on my phone, so I'm okay with that. GameCube is working, native resolution, but set it to work with DirectX, I think it's 12. And yeah, Dreamcast is working perfectly fine. I was able to map most of the controls for all the games. I just haven't got around because I think the Model 2 and such are a little harder to map. But Dreamcast was easy, GameCube was easy. So I'm using no delay, zero delay encoders for the buttons, and then everything Super Nintendo and Genesis works fine. But so no PS2. I mean, maybe if I put a graphics card, because this thing does allow for graphics card upgrades. So I just need an adapter to try that. I did do a couple little changes to the way the controls work. So I can hit B to go back. Before, you just need to hit back on this, and it confused me. So I have B to go back. Also, if I hit Start and Select, it gets me straight out of CoinOps. But normally, I need a mouse and keyboard for that. And if you hit Escape on the keyboard, it does that. So I don't know, whatever. But I also set it so that if get out of here. If you go to the settings and you go to shutdown, it actually shuts down the whole machine. I just need a way to power it back up from outside of the arcade machine, but right now I don't have that. So that's that. And also, this isn't actually connected just yet because I've been going in and out, and I just have it set so I can pull it right out for now. But if I hit what would be considered X, you have that. Now we have Killer Instinct and stuff, which is something I couldn't really get with bartop or anything like that. And I'm going to play it. I still need to go into the MAME settings and mess around with it a little because it has a little bit of an echo. So, have to fix that. I haven't touched the settings really. I mean, it's not horrible. It's just, I'd prefer that not to be there. And, but Killer Instinct works. So I'm just going to try to play with one hand. And I can't even play with two hands. I suck at this. But yeah, you see, Killer Instinct is working. Killer Instinct 2 works. I also have Shadow, the streaming service, set up so I can stream a full desktop PC. And I can play like newer games too. I can play like Soul Calibur 6, Mortal Kombat 11. We're up to 11, right? Yeah, 11, not 12. Yeah. And I can play the new Killer Instinct and all that through Shadow's service. So yeah, we have Killer Instinct 2. I think I mentioned I debloated Windows. Did a lot of stuff to it. I got rid of Windows Defender starting at boot. Holy shit, Saberwolf, what's wrong with you? I'm fighting you with one hand. Why am I kicking your ass? Okay, that's more like it. Okay, anyways. So yeah, we got that. I got a lot of games that wouldn't run. Virtual Racing is working, but again, the controls can be a little, they are messed up. The camera controls and the VR control is like on the same button. So that messes things up. But yeah. And like I said, all the MAME games seem to be giving me this weird echo, so I need to go in and figure out how to fix that. Even the ones that don't take much effort to run, so I don't think it's a power issue. So, I mean, maybe it's running at a super high resolution and I don't know it, but so yeah, Ridge Race. This game actually doesn't work, for me at least. It doesn't work badly with a joystick. So, we got that, and then, like I said, I can launch, I can go and, we can go into Naomi, and I have, like, Dead or Alive 2 Millennium arcade version. You can play that. I have, Fighting Vipers 2 in, Model 3 emulator. Stuff. So I had to set this up in yeah, because they were using Demule, and Demule was very slow and crappy. So I was able to change it out for RetroArch cores. Flycast, that's the one. Flycast is the name of it. So then it boots up and tells me, oh boy, you have a game in here. Woohoo, have fun. And that's that. So, yep. But other than that, the board. I'm going to talk about the board because I had some issues. The Wi-Fi and the Bluetooth antennas are so small, unless you have like super steady hands and more than perfect eyesight, it's basically impossible to put those antennas on. I spoke to 2 other people online that said one of them said they gave up, which I kind of did too. And then another guy said, yeah, you have to kind of, it's practically impossible, but you have to be very patient. And, you know, basically he probably has super steady hands because he was able to put it on. I have shaky hands. I can't put that shit on no matter what. So, kind of annoyed about that because, you know, I paid for the thing. And, you know, these are features that I paid for, and I can't use them. But the bouncing boobs work. Yeah. Hold me! Come on. Oh, wrong button. But anyways, it works. Sometimes I have to hit the combination a few times more than I'd like, but it does work. To get out of it, yeah. To get out of the game. The combination to get out of the game. Alright. So you have all these games here. I can go into, let me go into Model 3. And I'm going to go for a game that I can actually play, which is Fighting Vipers 2. And right now it's just set to 720p. So come on. So yeah, we're set to 720p. I set it to 1080, but it was slow. Well, which buttons do I use? I forgot. There we go. Hey, not fair. I can't get up. He's taking advantage of the fact that I'm using one hand to play. Alright. But it works. Oh, I think this game actually had an issue where I couldn't get out. That's another thing with the buttons. I can't get out of the game. Let me see if the escape button... Yeah. If I hit escape on a keyboard, it gets me out. But I gotta get it to work. Because I had to change it from an Xbox layout to a different one, whatever, for these buttons. And now the exit key doesn't work. So I gotta figure out how to fix that. So there's some controller issues on that end of things. And trying to think of any other games to show. Oh, GameCube. That was a big one. Had some GameCube. I got Star Wars Rogue Leader is unfortunately slow. But I don't know, maybe if I update the emulator, because it's using the one that was in there. Maybe if I update it, it'll perform better. I'm using, I think, DirectX. Yeah, I said DirectX like 12 or whatever the hell it is now. Come on. So I was set to widescreen. If I can. I forgot I set it to like a Nintendo kind of layout. But I don't know. I want to change it back. But yeah, we have some GameCube. But yeah, it works fine. Anyways. And then F-Zero works. All these games work. Mario Kart. Wave Race. The only one that I had trouble with was Star Wars Rogue Leader. I have PlayStation. That's fine. PSP works good. Let's try Tekken 6. La la la. And I did have to remap this one. The only one that worked right out of the box without remapping it to these kind of zero delay buttons was MAME and RetroArch. Where is... What's his name? I always forget. Oh, there he is. I just selected him. All Phoenix. Get ready for the next match. So. Round one. It's an older version of PPSPP, so I'll probably try to update it, but you can tell by the jittering feet on Paul. When the fact that he's dancing around is an indication that this is probably an older build of PPSSPP. But it does work. And I was able to get basically every game running just fine at least 2 times resolution. So that's that. Let me at least show the Model 2 emulation. Even though it doesn't work, even though I can't get it work. Let's do Daytona USA, because that's, I mean, you would probably want a wheel to play these games, but, you know. And I'll just show it running, because I can't actually control it. I think I could back out, though. So this is running at 1080p. So, that's cool. There's always that. And you can run, I can also run Sega Rally 2 and Sega Rally 1, so I just got to get the controls going. So you get Virtua Fighter 2 and all that. Some light gun games. I got to set up the light gun to work with this. And by the way, if you didn't hear, I believe the Sinden light gun, if you don't know what that is, it's a really nice light gun if you like light gun games. It's, instead of using like a Wii bar to try to track your aim and having all this delay on the screen, it's like, it works kind of like a real normal light gun where you point at things, you look down the sights, and you pull the trigger, and you don't need a cursor on screen or a crosshair on screen, you know, to track the gun. It actually, you just point it at, there's borders on the screen, there's a camera in the gun, and it detects where everything is somehow with whatever, and basically you can just pull the trigger like you would on an old CRT, and it shoots. And that is now up for pre-order. I don't know if their pre-orders are filled, but I would like to get one of those for this. Right now I just have the Wiimote set up. Anyways, that's besides the point, but I thought that was a really cool thing, and let's go ahead and fire up another game here. Yeah, I'm sure that works fine. But where's a game that... Ooh, yeah, Sega Rally. So, like I said, I can't control the games. I mean, if I plugged in an Xbox controller or something, it would work, but right now, all I can do is play the demos and exit and all that. The attract mode stuff and the demos and the... Yeah. So yeah, Sega Rally works. And if you could force the game into widescreen, that works too. So that's cool. And what else? Let's try Virtua Fighter 2. I wonder how long this video is going to be. So I was getting a little worried, kind of. I wasn't sure at first if this computer was going to work. And then when I started playing stuff at first, I was like, oh no, it's too slow. But then I was like, let me see if I can get some more performance out of this. Because I noticed the emulators, a lot of the emulators seem to work fine. It was just the actual front end was really slow, and so I did a lot of stuff. It wasn't as plug and play as it normally is with coin ops because of the amount of power that it required to run some of the stuff. But once I, changed out the theme and adjusted or changed the emulators and adjusted Windows, things started really. I actually have now a lot of unused power here. So, and of course I can also add a graphics card if I want and stuff. So yeah, Virtua Fighter 2 will work fine. And I'm just going to do one more Model 3 game. Let's do Daytona 2. Like I said, I can't really... This is a game I can't control because the gas isn't working. So... Okay. I don't know that I need to put a coin in. Oh. Yeah. Well, I guess I can just... No, I didn't want that. Anyways, it works, but... Getting out of this... Actually, I'm not sure I can get out with it. Oh, I can. Okay. Last time I couldn't get out with escape. But it works. It just takes too long to do all that. So if I go into settings, I don't know if I pointed this out, but if I hit shutdown, it shuts the whole system down. However, if I just hit start and select, it kicks me right to the desktop, which I set as a kind of an arcade theme there, so that when it's booting up, it doesn't look like shit. I don't have icons all over the desktop and have it look like Windows. So, on top of that, I have Shadow here. So if I want to play newer games, we will do that. So Shadow takes a little while to launch. If you have a local PC, you can use something. You can use maybe Steam's in-home streaming or Parsec, which is what I like to use. So Parsec is awesome. But yeah. It would be nice if they added like a controller friendly interface and like something. And I'd be able to launch it from coin ops. Go straight into a game. But they don't have that right now. I think they're working on that. They did it on Android, just not Windows or anything. So we're going to go into my Shadow desktop here. And here we are. And it's going to boot up, and then from there I can start playing games like Soul Calibur 6. Which I do need a mouse for right now. But let's see. We go. Can't see. Yeah, I have Killer Instinct, Soul Calibur 6. We'll do Soul Calibur 6. It'll launch. You can go into big picture mode, of course, and use the controls on the on this, but for the video, I'm just gonna do that. Hopefully we can just launch straight into big picture mode soon, and then I don't have to worry about the desktop and a keyboard and mouse and all this stuff. But for now, it looks good. So we're launching Soul Calibur 6, as you can see. It takes a while. I probably have to cut out some of this stuff. Oh, while we're here, I also did a lot of upgrading to this cabinet. I replaced all the buttons. I have SandWa sticks in there now, and it just so happened the button kit thing that I bought came with SandWa sticks, and I didn't even know it. They didn't even list it, so that was cool. And now I have glowing buttons, and I also replaced the light for the marquee, which at one point was just a battery-operated light, which I had to like recharge the batteries for, and that was stupid. So I just bought a USB light strip, and I leave it on all the time. I don't have it set to turn off because it doesn't bother me. So it just turns off with the whole arcade cabinet. But the latency on this is non-existent for the most part. I mean, obviously there's always going to be a little bit, but I don't notice it, so... you go to Battle, Arcade, Start Game, and we choose Sophicia, of course, and whatever, and, you know. Tra-la-la. Oh, speaking of the upgrades, I also added two USB ports to the side of the cabinet. What else did I do? I did some other stuff. But I definitely have some other things I have to do to this. I have to replace the monitor because it got damaged. But I keep saying we do. I found a new monitor and I broke it. So, but I'm trying to get a free monitor. I can normally go to the basement and find monitors that people throw out. So. Yeah, kind of hard to... Anyways, but yeah, it's working just fine. I could probably raise the graphics. I think this is set to the stock graphics, but it still looks really good. But anyways, there's that. So yeah, that's working. And so for the most part, that's really all. I just have a few things to do, a few things to buy, but I just wanted to show the Odyssey being used in an arcade cabinet and how the emulation performance with things like, you know, coin ops is for the most part, and then I just wanted to throw that shadow thing in there. So thank you for watching.